What's going on, guys? It's your boy beatsbyash, back at it again with another banger of a video. And today I'm going to showcase a draft where we put Duskmourn's Reanimator strategy to the test. And boy, does this one exceed expectations. So without further ado, let's get into the goo. Alright, welcome back to another Duskmourn draft on the channel, and we're starting off with one of the most underwhelming packs I have seen in quite some time. Our rare is Tale of Tamio, which is trash, and all of the uncommons are not very good. I guess the best one would be Altenac, but even then this card is not that great. There's also a Glassworks in this pack. I guess it's just between either of these cards, whichever one you would rather start with. Let's start with Altenac, he's more fun. And to follow that up, we see an Excruciator, which is a really fun card in the Reanimator deck, but I mean, we already have an Altenac, so if we want to do the Reanimator thing, I think we're just going to be fine on that. But there is a Spineseeker Centipede here, and in an overall very underwhelming pack, I think I'm down to start with the Centipede. It's a good card to allow us to maybe branch out into any other color that becomes open, or if we see any powerful cards. Ooh, okay. Now we see a Conductive Machete as well as Unable to Scream, one of the more premium removal spells in the format. I have found this card to be exceptional in green-blue specifically, but I think we're just supposed to take the Machete here and stay as open as possible. There's also a blue-black land of note, and you know, I have had a good experience playing black and mixing it with any other third color. This pack is just overall very, very bad. There's no Copium here. There is a Glimmerburst. Obviously just the best card in the pack without a doubt. And that's not really saying a lot because this is just very underwhelming. I guess you could go with this Flesh Burrower, but who's picking that up pick 4? Ooh, okay. We actually have the opportunity to potentially venture off into the Reanimator space with Rite of the Moth. There's also a Get Out here, and this card is actually pretty decent. I think it's a lot better in blue-white though, and I am here to make some content, so let's go with Rite of the Moth and see if we can do some Reanimator things. I have high hopes. So we have Paranormal Analyst, which is, I mean, just overall the best card in this pack and very good in green-blue, but it does not allow us to do the Reanimator thing. We may not be able to do that. There are 3 black cards here, but none of them are very exceptional. Derelict Addict is fine, but also you just get these given out like candy, so I guess I'll take the Analyst. I already have a Machete. Card does work with that. This is a good synergy piece, but this is nowhere near the power level of something like Oblivious Bookworm, and oftentimes I feel like this card is a lot worse than you would think, just because it requires a lot of things to go right for you. I often just don't feel like card draw does a lot with green. Yeah, let's just go with the Innocuous Rat. I mean, maybe it'll turn into something. It is a card that does allow us to manifest Dread, and that is pretty cool. Alright, well, there is a green-blue land, and I don't mind that at all. Could also go with this white land cycler, but honestly, the white one is the one that I'm least interested in any way. I would much rather have a black land cycler if I had my choice. I'm probably just going to take the Addict at this point, and we passed up several of them. I think this card's fine. Haven't really found a reason to be combining blue and black, and we'll take the Dagger Maw here. Probably my preferred land cycler in this format, but this was a terrible pack one, I'm not going to lie. Like, we really didn't find any power, and we're kind of sitting behind 2 C+ cards and 1, like, okay-ish card. Guess we can take this Winter's Intervention here if we feel more comfortable with black than blue. I mean, none of these cards are really like cards I'm hoping to play. Picking up a Fear of the Dark and a Twist Reality. Okay, well that was a nice surprise. Moving on to pack 2. Let's see something to give us a sign, baby. Ooh, okay. Although I know that Unnerving Grasp is quite a bit of a better card than Break Down the Door, I'm going to take this card because, like, I just want to stay open and see where the power is. There is a very nice one. That is Head Shredder, one of the more interesting rares in this format. Whenever it attacks, you mill 2, and then you get to put lands from their grave on the battlefield. And I've had a lot of success with it. There's also a Nowhere to Run, which is a good card if we want to just commit to black. But there's also a Wickerfolk Thresher, and I think this card is slightly better than the Head Shredder, but not too far off. I'm going to go with the Thresher here. Just a good card to keep us in green. This pack has a Defiant Survivor, a Live or Die, or a Fear of Exposure. Fear of Exposure is pretty cool. The only issue is in order to make this card work, you kind of want to have like a really low to the ground deck to get value out of it. And that just doesn't seem like what we are going to end up doing here. I'm going to go with Defiant Survivor. I mean, it's just a good 3-drop, and like Live or Die is fine, but there are just better ways to reanimate and better pieces of interaction. So on both forefronts, that card just kind of falls flat. There is another Glimmer Burst. There's also another Innocuous Rat and a White Land Cycler. There's also just like Flesh Burrower, which is a 2-drop, and we do not have many of those. If I want to commit to black, though, I could just go for an Innocuous Rat. It doesn't feel like a great pick 4, but it could be fine. You know what? I want to try to make this green-black reanimator thing work, so let's go with the Innocuous Rat here. I'm committing, boys. I am committing. Okay, there's a Growing Dread, so maybe a little bit of a misstep on my part, but screw it. We're locked in, baby. Reanimator is inbound. There's a Say Its Name, really good in this archetype. Can allow us to put our Ultinac in the grave fairly early. And to follow it up, we see another Rite of the Moth as well as a Spectral Snatcher. A little bit ballsy for us to be splashing 2 of these, but you know what? I'm all in. I'm all in, baby. We're going for it. And if we can get a Spectral Snatcher later on, I would be so happy. I want to try to get at least one of those. Oh my gosh. Ask and you shall receive. There is the Spectral Snatcher. That is awesome. Okay, there's a Moldering Gem. That is perfect. There's also a Neglected Manor, which is a very premium card to have in this situation. But I think I'm just going to go with the Moldering Gem. I feel like it's just a more consistent form of fixing. Get us to whatever we want. There's also a Green Land Cycler. I don't mind that. It's better than Fear of the Dark, and it's a decent card to try to revive. Okay, there is a Bashful Beastie. Do not hate that. But our curve is getting a little bit high. Hopefully we can pick up some interaction in pack 3. Just take this Friendly Teddy. Well, this deck is looking interesting thus far. I don't know if it's any good. Ooh, we get a green-white land. That is great. Great solid pickup late in the pack. We get it for free. We get a green-blue land. Maybe we'll have a reason to be doing something like that. All right, our rare here is Maddening Hex. This is 1 red. When enchant player casts a non-creature spell, roll a d6. This deals damage to that player equal to the result. Then attach it to one of your opponent's chosen at random. Well, I have never seen this card before in my life, so we're not going to be playing it. But there are 2 other cards here that are absolutely bonkers. Zimone, All Questioning, and Osseous Stick Twister. But I don't think this deck is really looking to play a Zimone. I could stretch my mana for it, but I've just felt like splashing Zimone is very weird because you want to line it up with the turns where you have the prime numbers. So we're gonna go with the Stick Twister here. One I'm very excited to see. So here we see one of the best cards to revive in the deck, which is Vile Mutilator, which would be absolutely awesome. There's also a trap in the screen if we just want interaction, although we do not have the most fixing. Currently, it's just the Moldering Gem and the 1 Centipede, so 2 forms of fixing, which is fine. It could get better progressively, but I feel like that is a little bit of a big ask. I think I'm just going to go with the Vile Mutilator. You know, that gives us 2 premium things to revive, and I'm willing to cut the Branch Strapper if we need to. Okay, there's another Ultinac, but I don't think we're going to be needing that. If we could get 2 more Say Its Name for free, that'd be really cool. But let's just go with our second copy of Moldering Gem Weight Room. That's giving us 3 total ways to search out lands, which is awesome. And to follow that up, we see a Monstrous Emergence, which is much needed because we are very lacking on interaction, especially some lower cost efficient interaction. Well, this pack seems to be pretty dang bad for us. There's almost nothing in here I would like to play. I guess I'll take the Found Footage. Maybe we'll just play it because we want Delirium. Ooh, okay, there's a really good card for us. Drag to the Roots. If we have Delirium, it only costs 2 mana, kill anything. That's what I'm talking about. There's also a green-white land. If this wasn't in the pack, I'd definitely take it, but I'm way more happy to see the Drag to the Roots. And to follow that up, we see a Winter's Intervention. Another good card for us because our deck does lose to early game aggression. And our deck lacks in 2-drops, so I don't hate that at all. Could get a Flesh Burrower here. I don't hate that. I mean, it's a 2-drop, and our deck has currently 1, 2, 3 2-drops. We could also go with the Cryptid Inspector. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the Flesh Burrower. I just want the early game protection. Ooh, okay, that's awesome. There's a Wary Watchdog. Well, that is better than the Flesh Burrower, and that is a great card for us to put stuff in the grave. If we could grab that Fanatic of Harrowing, I would also play it too, but Wary Watchdog is just quite a bit better. Overall, this deck does not look bad, and I think we've definitely got something here. Okay, and we get a late white-black land. Well, that's awesome. One thing I've noticed about white-black that's really cool, or splashing a Reanimator package, is it allows you to play a control game and have a grind game without really having any bombs in your deck, and I think that just goes a long way. Okay, there's a Let's Play a game. There's also a Winter's Intervention, but we already have 2 of those. I think I'm going to go with the Let's Play game. I mean, it's just a decent card to play. I don't mind it. I've had good success with it in red-black, and I think in an attrition-based deck that's trying to outvalue the other player, it is a good one to have. All right, we ended up with a very interesting green-black Reanimator deck by kind of just forcing it when it didn't feel like there were a lot of good cards being passed around the table. So this will be really interesting to see how this works out. We don't have a lot of powerful cards, but some of note are the Vile Mutilator and the Altanac to get back, alongside 2 Rite of the Moth. We also have an Osseous Stick Twister and, you know, some Moldering Gems and Spine Seeker Centipede to ramp us to our big boys. We also have these Land Cyclers that we can be buying back. Hopefully, this Sussy Baka mana base will be able to hold up to the test of time and allow us to reanimate our way to victory. So let's go ahead and hop into these games. All right, welcome to match number 1 with our ABZAN Reanimator deck. May the Rite of the Moth be with us, brother. So I don't have a black, but I do already have a white for the Rite of the Moth, and I'm going to be able to discard this Land Cycler. I'm going to keep because I'm a greedy boy on the draw. Drop down the tap land, tap, tap, taparoo, tap, tap coming at you. I'm turning the TV off for good luck. He's not that guy. I'm just going to Land Cycle during his turn. Grasping Long Neck, okay. That means nothing to my ability to out a swamp, sir. The most powerful play in the game. The discard, search a swamp pass play, brother. You should learn it sometime. Drawing the second swamp was actually so clutch, because next turn we can go, like, double 2-drop. That's huge. Glassworks? No.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Well, that was some bullshit. Player 4th land. Should I revive the Survivor to troll? Probably not. I think I'm just going to play a little card called Osseous Stick Twister. The Young Jit. And then I'm going to go ahead and kill your Grasping Long Neck, because fuck this card. I like to twist stick, sir. Funny enough, I have 2 degrees, and I've never heard of the word Osseous once. I have no idea what that means. You would think after you paid $100,000, you would know what the word Osseous means, but you would stand to be corrected, my friend. No, not my Stick Twister. No! I can't even revive him, you dirty bastard. But I can revive my Land Cycler. Ho ho ho! Does he have a 3rd removal spell? Is he that guy? Sir, would you like to just pay the small cost of Word 1? Not a big deal at all, sir. Greenhouse? What the heck? Okay, well, I like that a lot. I appreciate you setting up the greenhouse, sir. Thank you for choosing to not develop the board while I have a 6/5 bomb of a creature. Wickerfolk Thresher. Razorkin Needlehead. Sir, it's like turn 6 of the game. It's a little bit too late, buddy. Oh, I actually just draw another white? I'm actually goated. Holy shit.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
I'm actually just goated. I think it was like a 5% chance I could actually play this again, but that's hilarious. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the Thresher comes for you, sir? Thresh, thresh, thresh it up. Thresh, thresh, thresh it up. Horrid Vigor? You dirty bastard.
Gotcha, bitch.
Sorry, buddy. Had to do it to him. I had to do it to him. It is what it is. I think I'm actually just going to get a land here. I want to guarantee the ability to violently mutilate some things. Or revive. Whatever works. Would you like to sacrifice a Glassworks? Or how about a Glassworks and a Wickerfolk Thresher? Okay, that was busted. I guess I don't need to violently mutilate anything. Thresher OP. Thresher OP. Go. Say its name. Altenac, the thrice called. In attack mode, take out his last remaining life points. I love this deck, man. Such a fun and fair deck, man. See, this is what fun and fair Magic looks like. A lot of people get caught up in all this counter spell bullshit, all this weird shit. I'm here to attack face and hope that's enough to win the game. Sorry, buddy. That's nothing compared to my Altenac, the thrice called. Boop. Yeah. Yes, sir. Altenac takes out his revenge. Alright, I want everyone to know that this is an entirely skill-based deck, and there was no % chance luck involved with me top decking back-to-back big fat monsters that inevitably killed our opponent. It was just a player issue. It is what it is. It's just a player issue. It happens sometimes, guys. It happens sometimes. It's fine. Drawing the correct card at the correct time is, in fact, a skill issue. It's okay. Not everyone can do that and be this handsome at the same time, and that's why I'm here. Deface Gallery. Okay. I love it when my opponent doesn't develop the board on the first turn of the game. Okay, the white is coming up. The right of the moth may be with me, brother. Scorching Dragonfire, you dirty bastard.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Say hello to my little friend, the Defiant Survivor. Pyroclasm? Dude, I'm playing Reanimator. What?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Why is this guy playing Pyroclasm? He saw that I had 3 guys that costed at least 6. What? Land cycling. Into the innocuous rat. Ha ha ha. Pyroclasm me again. I'll wait. Yeah. Go, innocuous rat. Take out his first remaining life point. Believe in the power of the machete. Sha-sha-sha. Okay, that sounds like a really good card to flip into. I'm going to select this card. This card is nice. Please, sir, please do not exile my Vile Mutilator. It's not like my deck is a glass cannon in any way, shape, or form. That's not true. Moldering Gym. Sir, no one hits the weights like Mr. beatsbyash 1000 bands. I can tell by the way that this guy is slow playing. His squat is under 200 pounds. This guy can't even do 2 plates. I think you need to relinquish control of that leg press, sir. Sha-sha-sha. It's time to thresh it up, baby. You know, we have a really good relationship going on here. I would hate for you to ruin it, sir. I play cards, you don't play cards. You put dead cards into your deck that are actually counterproductive. This is what I like to see from a good opponent. This is how you know we're going to be friends. Very good friends. Oh, you're going to put my Vile Mutilator in the grave? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Rats. Rats from the Bay. The only thing that could make this deck more perfect is if we had triple say its name. Ripchain Razorkin. That card is nothing against my field of innocuous rats, sir. Go, innocuous rat. Take out his Razorkin Ripchain. Would you like to trade with the Thresher, sir? He takes it all. Okay. I now must perform the dark art. Say its name. Altenac, come to me. I think I'm just gonna add back the Vile Mutilator. Something tells me there is a vile spirit at foot. And his name is Osseous Stick Twister. I love this card. I love this card so much. This deck is so fun, man. There's something special about beating down your opponent in a fun and fair way. It's this deck. This deck is fun and fair. It's very interactive. I play cards. Their stats are extremely big, so you can't answer them. That's the kind of interaction we like. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tip. Magic is most fun when one player is playing the game and the other person is not having fun. Trust. I played a lot of Magic. And he discards a greenhouse, okay? Looks like that gazebo won't be rickety anytime soon, sir. I wonder if we can, like, just kill this person with specifically Stick Twister Burn. If I equip the machete to it, it's hitting for 4 a turn, which is hilarious. Machete Stick Twister Control. Just as the Lord intended. If I can get 2 more lands, we can sacrifice the rat to perform a dark ritual. The Vile Mutilator. Man, I love just having, like, multiple threats that my opponent can't answer. What the fuck? What the fuck? Sir? Why do you control my Wickerfolk Thresher? Why? Why? And for some reason, you still don't have Delirium. Okay, cool. We love to see it. We love our opponent not having Delirium this time of year. Well, there's no way I'm going to die. And my Stick Twister has lifelink, so like, unless this guy is a betrayer's bargain, then he's a certified DRTY dirty bastard. Sir, please do not betrayer bargain. Main phase 2, sacking my Thresher to kill my Stick Twister. I would be forced to appeal to the head judge. I'm skipping the level 2 judge and going directly to the head judge if that occurs. I mean, technically, he could have used the Rip Chain Razorkin before attacking to sack a land, and then he could have gotten Delirium. Okay, well, this guy just threw. GG's, brother. GG's. Believe in the Thresher. The Thresh is real. Opponent taking a mulligan. Alright, my hand is based. Reanimator's a base deck. Nuff said. Base deck, nuff said. He's going to 5? Yes, sir. We love to see it. We love our opponent going down to the dirty 5. The white has already been secured. Can we get the double black to perform the ritual? My goal is to Rite of the Moth into a Vile Mutilator at least twice in one game. That is the prophecy I must fulfill. He's also playing a black. Okay. This guy might also be based. Black is the most based color in the format. He's playing black-blue. Okay, his deck is just inferior. His deck is just legitimately inferior. He's playing a Paranormal Analyst. Okay. Kind of cringe, but okay. How does your Paranormal Analyst stand up to my Wary Watchdog, sir? Oh, that's such a good card. But it gives me Delirium. Goodbye, Stick Twister. You did a good job. You gave us 2 types in the graveyard for Delirium. That's more than I could ask of the Wary Watchdog. TBH, it feels so bad if you don't put the card in the grave when you play this. Because then if they kill it on the following turn, you actually are just getting no surveil value at all. And you're just playing a 2-mana 3-1, which is not great. Derelict Addict. Oh ho ho. Unfortunately, sir, that is not a Manifest Dread card, so you're not going to be able to use this. My bad, Poppy. My bad. Go. Wary Watchdog. Take out his life points. Yes, sir. Now, I think I'm going to play down a little card called the Defiant Survivor. Defiance favors the brave. Bro, stop hovering my card. If I could eliminate one element from Magic Arena, it would be seeing your opponent hover over cards. Like, I don't want to see that he keeps reading my card. It just tells me he has a removal spell, and, like, I don't like that. I don't want to know that my opponent has the ability to destroy me. That's not something I ask for in a fun and fair game of Magic. Fear of Infinity. Okay. Well, that can't even block, so I'm guaranteed to get a Manifest Dread here. I mean, that's just based. Okay, block the Watchdog. We love to see it. Yeah. A Surveil and a Manifest Dread? What more could we ask for? Delirium 4 would be appreciated, sir. Delirium 4 would be very appreciated. And it is not Delirium 4, but that's okay. I kind of want to go get a black. But I could also just Winter's Intervention, and that'll give me Delirium. Or no, that won't give me Delirium. I'm stupid. I just have Artifact Creature. This might, though. Okay, this gives me Delirium, but it's just not very good. I would have liked to mill a black here. I really would have liked to mill a black. Let's add back the Stick Twister. He has a lifelinker. I have a lifelinker. It's fair. That's fun and fair Magic for you. Okay. Get in for the lifelink. Sure. Can he stop the Defiance? That is the question we must ask. Ghostly Key Bearer. He cannot stop the Defiance. Okay, we'd love to see it. Well, I mean, this only costs 2 mana, but I also only have 1 black, and that really sucks. Well, I guess I will Manifest Dread, since that's the only thing I'm allowed to do. Ooh, the Centipede? Yes, sir. Oh, and my opponent's low enough to where it actually turns on. That's funny. I didn't realize that he was low enough for me to actually enter play with this land untapped, but that is good to know. If we get 1 black, we just have double Rite of the Moth, and we probably just outvalue him. That would be very nice. Guys, do not sleep on the Centipede. This card just keeps going up for me. I think this might be the best common in the format after Scorching Dragonfire. Like, it's just always 3-3, it feels like. Okay, now he is land cycling. Does that mean he is also playing Reanimator? Or did he just put a bad card in his deck? Both of which are very possible. Well, I would appreciate you playing something with 2 toughness, sir. No. No! It's not supposed to happen like this. Don't do me like this, sir. Well, the survivor will not be surviving today. And you're just gonna pass? Why? Why? You can't block with this. Why would you pass? Attack. I think this guy didn't realize that that's how that works, but okay. Well, I still only have 1 black, and that is really frustrating. Get in for the 5, and we will play the Stick Twister. Maybe he just wants to sack it, and because he knows we have that. I don't know. Stick Twister. Dude, I just want to get a deck with like 4 Stick Twisters and just get a bunch of equipment and play Stick Twister Burn. I feel like that would be so funny. But like, this is one of the actually highly sought after cards in black. Like, this is actually a reason to play black, which is weird because it's a 2/2. Like, he's discarding a Fear of Falling. Well, that's nice because that card is really good. I wonder if he's finally going to attack. Okay, let's go. No one can stop the Stick Twister. No one. Okay, this hand is kind of slow, but I think I'm willing to keep. I mean, our opponent's deck is slow. Plus, we'll be able to automatically search for a white source, which probably is decent here. Man, I just love Delirium. Delirium is such a fun mechanic, and it's awesome that they finally got it right. It's been so long since they've gotten that right. I don't think Delirium has ever been this good. Like, Delirium has always been somewhat difficult to get online, but this set, they did a great job with it, and I hope they continue to innovate like that. Like, Rooms was a great mechanic. Manifest Dread was a decent mechanic. Okay, we pick up the Black Plane Cycler. And he's just going to pass. You love to see it. Tunnel Surveyor. Okay. Well, that makes our Survivor a little bit worse. And we get the white. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and play the Moldering Gem here. And I'm just going to get a white, I guess. I could have gotten a green to, like, hard play Ultinac. But I genuinely think, like, the ability to play a Rite of the Moth from the graveyard if we mill it is just really insane. Man, if we had a Terramorphic Expanse, this deck would be nice. If you have, like, 1 or 2 copies of Terramorphic Expanse, Ultinac becomes, like, a B- card. Because the ability to go turn 1 Terramorphic and then basically use Ultinac as a rampant growth is nice. Okay, just going to play that on his turn. Interesting. Well, I can just double spell. No, I can't double spell because I don't have 2 green. I'm representing a jump scare, man. Do not attack. Be afraid of the jump scare. Something tells me our opponent has some kind of bomb. Because pretty much all of the cards in this guy's deck are cards you don't want to play in this deck. Skull, Snap, Nuisance. Okay. And he's just going to pass. Okay, we love to see it. Well, I think I can just go ahead and do this. Okay, well, I was going to get rid of my white land anyway, so I'm glad I ended up getting double white out of the deck. I feel like if we get into a grind game, my deck probably outvalues his, so if we top deck another green here, that would be huge. We just hard play Ultinac, or we could double spell. But I guess regardless, I can go Machete plus Survivor. We've got plays for days, brother. And he doesn't seem to have that many enchantment payoffs. Like, Skullcap Nuisance is cool, but it's not, like, crazy. Anytime I've played blue-black, I've never gotten a Skullcap Nuisance. I can't really say how good this card is. I think it's mainly just, like, a fine card you're willing to play, so you don't get aggroed out. Okay, we get a green. Yes, sir. Actually huge. That's actually giga. Well, I think I'm just going to attack here with both. If we can trade away any game pieces, I mean, I'm happy. Glimmer Burst. Okay. Draw 2, Surveil 1. Sure. Mills a Silent Hall Creeper. Triple trading. Okay, you love to see it. Well, that was great. Hopefully we mill a Rite of the Moth here. We don't. We get an Innocuous Rat. Okay. Well, at least I have a Machete. I could move to the Survivor. Hopefully he'll use some, like, interaction so I can play my Ultinac into, like, a simplified game state. Tunnel Surveyor number 2. Okay. If this guy thinks he's going to beat us down by Skullcap Nuisance Control, he's got another thing coming. Popular Egotist. Okay. I don't think that card's that good outside of red-black, but sure. Well, other than Silent Hall Creeper, we really haven't seen our opponent play any, like, semi-decent cards. Well, it costs 2 mana to use his Egotist, so maybe he'll trade with 2 of his game pieces here again. I'm probably just going to Ultinac in main phase 2 here. That's a really weird trade. He could have just traded his 3-2 into our 4-3 and his 2-2, and he would have kept a 1-1, but okay. Innocuous Rat. Into another useless card. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kill this card, sir. Machete control. My conductive machete has no bounds, sir. Except for creatures that have better stats than a creature equipped with a machete. Nowhere to run, okay. Well, that is something he can sack to protect his Egotist. Okay, we draw a land. Just go and attack here, see if he wants to give his Egotist indestructible. Or go to 5. It's up to you, sir. Alright, he's gonna go to 5. We love to see it. Say its name. It's time for Ultinac, the thrice called. Go, Ultinac. Seek and destroy. Take out his last remaining life points.
Gotcha, bitch.
A worthy foe has appeared. Can we take down the final boss? Wow, this hand would be insane if we had 2 lands. Okay, this hand has multiple lands. No green sources, but I will keep anyway. Neglected Manor. Okay, we get a green source anyway. Kind of huge. For real, for real. Say hello to my little friend, the Flesh Burrower. Fear of Isolation, bouncing a land.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Go, Flesh Burrower. Da dink. Moldering Gym, ramp us to 5. Rite of the Moth is now online. I repeat, the Rite of the Moth is inbound. Monsters Emergence, okay. Into a rat, okay. Well, I guess I'm somewhat happy that I got a double black here. I probably just have to discard my Branch Snapper and then go for a Manifest Dread here. Erratic Apparition. Oh no. Well, that is a Wickerfolk Thresher. That is a good card. Might as well go ahead and do this now. Wow, I'm so glad I did that. I was about to draw 2 black lanes in a row, and that would have been terrible. Threats around every corner. Oh no! A threat is incoming. I repeat, a threat is incoming. Rite of the Moth. Please be with us, brother. It is not a Rite of the Moth. It is some life gain. Life gain, go Burr. Get him for 5. We're back in this race, baby. No, my Wickerfolk Thresher. How could you? What are these top decks? This is so atrocious. Innocuous Rat, save me. Well, this is not looking good. I don't have Delirium. And I'm drawing dead lands. And he has 2 flyers I cannot interact with. Ow. He's an Oblivious Bookworm. No, that's a good card. Why can't I draw good cards? Fuck on him with the pre-flip. Into a Conductive Machete. Okay. Into another Innocuous Rat. Ho ho ho. Why can I only get creature, instant, and land? Okay, we caused him to chump. That's nice. Maybe he wants to kill my Innocuous Rat. I'd appreciate it. He does not. Okay. It's crazy we're still in this game after drawing so many lands. That is a card. This card does things. Go. Attack with the team. Wickerfolk Thresher. Take out his Oblivious Bookworm.
Gotcha, bitch.
I'm that guy for a reason, baby. Does he have it? Is he that guy? Can he come back from stumbling so hard? Okay, sure. Well, this was just a classic game of fun and fair magic. What can I say? Well, I can't believe we beat that guy. That guy's deck's really good. Way better than ours. All right, well, we're actually starting with the correct sources here, so this is not a bad start. Maybe he'll play something with 2 power and I can Monstrous Emergence. Okay, I get a white. That's nice. Well, now I have the ability to guarantee playing Right of the Moth. Brood Spinner? No, that card's OP.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Can I top deck a creature with 3 power, please? I believe. It's a creature with 3 power. You gotta love to see it.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
But doink. Alright, sir, all I need you to do here is just not draw an Oblivious Bookworm. The card is too powerful for your own good. And he's just passing. Yes, sir. You know how we be, son. We out here. Rock out with the fofo, son. Cha-ching. Go get a white. We have double Right of the Moth value. I'm taking this guy to value down. It is what it is. Moldering Gym weight room? Sure. Sure, sir. But does that stand up to the test of time and my conductive machete? Mill of land here? Yes. Oh my gosh, that was so nice. Now I can use the ability of Altenac and then go for a Right of the Moth. That's huge. That's huge. I believe all of the Reanimator pieces are coming together. I've solved the Millennium Puzzle, boys. The Millennium Puzzle has been solved. You don't mind me, sir. If you just want to kill my guy, that's fine. I have some big beaters coming. I want you to use your removal now. Use it now and use it often. Erratic Aberration? This guy has so many broken cards, but he just keeps weaving in all these bad ones, and it's really deceptive. Okay, he's just passing. Does he have a random-ass counterspell that he's going to pull out of his ass? That is the question that we are all waiting to see. Well, let's go ahead and find out. Sure, buddy. Sure. Yeah. I'm going for it. Big whammies. I'm going for the Right of the Moth. Does he have a response to the Right of the Moth? No one can stand up to the power of the Moth, baby. Well, actually, if we draw another land here, we can just hard play Vile Mutilator, which would be disgusting to answer his 5/5. Okay, we're going to ramp this black, and we're just going to draw a land here. Big land. No, it's not a land. It's not a land. No. I can't do this, though. This is, in fact, a play we can do. Wary Watchdog, go. That's a Plains. That is a card that I am able to play next turn and get out my Vile Mutilator. We're going to keep on top, sir. But can you stop? Altenac, Right of the Moth, go. I'll match your 5/5 with an Altenac that thrice called. Unable to scream. Okay, I'll draw a card. No worries, guys. I'll just draw a card. It's fine, guys. I just go +1 in advantage. It is what it is. And then I'll sacrifice my Altenac. Tapping down, okay. Unfortunately, sir, you aren't going to have this creature much longer. Oh my gosh, he has a big spider. I'm scared of spiders. Vile Mutilator, go. Sack this so he can't sack his Unable to Scream. All right, sir, what would you like to sack here, buddy? What would you like to sack? Boop. Yeah.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
That shit was vile. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Unfortunately, I'm going to be able to revive that. That's too bad, buddy. Go, Right of the Moth. Return, Vile Mutilator. Take out his last remaining enchantment. Reanimator is the real deal. Put some respect on the Vile Mutilator, baby. Let's go. Johnny, the Reanimator Jit, gets it done. One and done. I don't shoot and miss. Aim and fire down the barrel, baby. Let's go. All right, well, that was an awesome display of what Reanimator can do in Duskmourn Draft, and I could not be more happy. Let's go ahead and do a quick little review of the deck before we end the video. So, one thing I want to point out here is we ended up with exactly 0 rares or mythics, and one of the biggest advantages to going Reanimator in this format is that it's something you can do that is often left open because many of the cards are underdrafted when you don't have access to any bombs in your opening packs. So that is, in my opinion, the best time to be going for Reanimator, and we have several cards that can substitute in place of bombs to give us a good, grindy late game, such as Altenac the Thrice Called and Vile Mutilator. I really like Vile Mutilator and Altenac just because I feel like when you have ramps such as like Moldering Gym, it's also fair to assume the game is going to go on long enough for you to potentially be able to play one of these hard from hand. And I think in these decks, the land cyclers really shine, specifically the black one, because if your deck is putting out like small threats like Centipede that they eventually have to use answers on, Spectral Snatcher is a great card to revive off of Rite of the Moth, because typically after they've used a bunch of interaction, it's going to be difficult for them to have to pay for the ward discard a card, and that ends up going such a long way because 6-5 is a really good stat line. Slavering Branch Snapper is okay, but it's more so just one of the more premium things you could be flipping into off of Manifest Dread. Now, I do think this deck could have been a little bit better with some more early game Manifest Dread cards, but we didn't get access to those, so it was not a big deal. Once again, Moldering Gym was awesome. I think this is actually a little bit better in this deck than the Centipede, but the Centipede is really good. It just becomes a lot better when you have stuff like the 2-mana Manifest Dread spell, but having this fixing is important to be able to put cards in your deck like Rite of the Moth. Another good one that I want to shout out is Shroud Stomper. I think ideally, unless you have 3 copies of Say Its Name, Shroud Stomper is a better substitute as one of your 2 late game buybacks versus Altenac, just because that card provides you immediate value. So even if they have a way to deal with it, you're putting them on a clock, you're gaining back life, and you're drawing cards, which is really, really nice. Rite of the Moth is the special shout out of the day, probably the MVP here. This card is great to mill, and that's why Manifest Dread is also great. You just got to make sure you have enough sources in your deck, and that's why I decided to go with a little bit of a Sussy Baka mana base and run 2 planes, because you really want to have the opportunity to buy this back from the grave. It just makes all of your mill effects and your Manifest Dreads so much better, and it allows you to bypass the additional costs of certain cards like Vile Mutilator. You can also be reviving the double white Fear of Abduction, the one that exiles a creature you control as an additional cost, then exiles one creature your opponent controls. That is a good one too, but in a deck like this where we didn't get a lot of premium lands and we already had big threats, that card would have just not been as good. But if you're in a primarily base white-black deck, that is a great card to be reanimating. Drag to the Roots was awesome. I would play as many copies of this as possible. And the Conductive Machete went a long way to be able to buff up all of our weenies and have something to do in the late game with our mana, since we're going to end up with quite a few lands by the end of the game. Wickerfolk Thresher is just probably the best artifact creature you could have in any Delirium deck, just to count for 2 types, because he is a reward for getting Delirium, and he himself is an enabler, and oftentimes this card outshines in this deck because they're going to have to kill this since it's a value engine, which means they may not have a removal for some of your reanimate targets, which just goes a long way. Defiant Survivor is also good because it eats up removal. Your early game creatures, you're looking for ones that need to be answered so they don't have interaction for your late game bombs, because there is a lot of exile removal in this format. And if they're exiling your Altenac or your Vile Mutilator, you're not going to be able to use Rite of the Moth on it. So that is a big concern for this deck. break down the door, still one of the best pieces of interaction for green in this format, because I've said this before, but green just doesn't have that many ways to answer enchantments, so that makes this card a high priority. Osseous Stick Twister was absolutely insane. I am becoming very, very high on this card, and it is one of the cards that would make me want to start off in black if I get it early in the draft, because it's good in the early game, and it's also just a win condition in the late game, while also giving you a good artifact creature for Delirium. So this is one way you can get into the deck. Innocuous Rat was actually better than I thought. Typically, I don't like to play this if I don't have to, unless I'm in red-black where I'm getting sack advantage, but it actually served as a good road bump in this deck. Even though we didn't end up going against any red-white or red-black aggro players, it is a decent filler 2-drop if you don't end up with that many premium 2s. And then also, Winter's Intervention is also great. The life goes a long way in this deck compared to others. And I think if we could choose to do so, I would play more copies of Say Its Name, but unfortunately we only got offered one. Overall, this was an amazing showcase of what Reanimator could do, and I'm glad I got to bring this out for you guys on the channel. If you want to see more awesome Duskmourn content like this, make sure to smash the like button, turn post notifications on, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another banger. And as always, if it's not the GUU, it's got to go. Peace.
Ooh, is that indigo?